children who were found dependent following proceedings initiated by Henry County DFACS on April the 14th. And they've been in care since that time. And we're here to conduct a 9-month permanency review hearing as contemplated by the code. Given the tender ages of both kids, Hazel will soon be 4 in that March, and Baylor is 6, be 7 later this year. All right, we're conducting this hearing virtually over the internet using Zoom. Let's see, we have several CASA volunteers who are in training and doing their observations as part of their training regimen. Let's see, I saw Mom, there she is. Ms. Kimball is here. Her lawyer, Ms. Crane, is here. The guardian ad litem attorney for the child, Ms. Miller, is here. The children is here. Their case manager, Ms. McKay, is here. Ms. Crowley works with the guardian attorney's office, and Ms. Henley Parks is Ms. McKay's supervisor. Are you planning to testify, Ms. Henley Parks? Are you planning to use her, Mr. Skovronik?
I wasn't anticipating it right now, Your Honor, but
she needs to turn on her camera if she's going to participate. If she's just monitoring, I'm sort of.
Denise, you need to turn on your camera.
All right. Mr. Skovronik's going to give me a summary of where we are on the case plan and how the kids are doing, and then we'll make Ms. McKay available for questions, and we'll make Mom available. And Mom, your lawyer can ask questions of the parties that testify. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Skovronik.
So, Your Honor, this is a judicial review that's actually scheduled by the court earlier than the scheduled 6 months. We were last in court on October 10th of last year on this case.
Excuse me, the clerk and I looked at the file. It looks to me that this hearing was set at the outside of the case when we were supposed to check on younger children 9 months from removal. So this falls in between the periodic 6-month reviews. If they're older kids, it happens at 12, and it would coincide with the periodic reviews.
And the court set an early review, Your Honor, because the department had asked that the case plan be changed for the mother to concurrent plans of reunification and non-reunification termination of parental rights. The court was not inclined to do that back in October. However, the court did find that the mother had not made as much progress as she should have on the case plan, and so that's why we have this early review, to my understanding at least.
We're going to take it as satisfying both efforts. How's that? Okay.
So I've got Ms. McKay just took this case over from Ms. Wilcox about a week ago, and has given me a court report, which since we were last in court, Ms. Kimball has not undergone a drug screen for the department since November. She had a urine screen on October 11th, a urine screen on October 19th, and another urine screen on November 3rd, and another urine screen on November 10th. There have been no drug screens of Ms. Kimball since November 10th of 2023. Her first 3 urine screens were negative, and her last urine screen was positive for cannabinoids. That was one of the issues that the court had expressed. There were concerns about the mother submitting to screens or not submitting to screens, and that was an issue that the department had as far as getting drug screens. The mother has undergone, to my understanding, all of her assessments. I did ask Ms. McKay to check on whether the mother ever did her domestic violence assessment. That's the only one that's showing. I can't tell whether that was actually done or not. The mother has completed her parenting education. She completed that back in June. Her level 1 outpatient treatment, the provider is Georgia Counseling, and they report that they have not seen Ms. Kimball since September 22nd.
And what service are they providing?
They were doing level 1 outpatient substance abuse treatment.
Okay. So she has not completed that.
I have an appointment today after
Do not interrupt. Do not interrupt, okay? You've been here before. You have to wait your turn, okay? I'll hear from you at the appropriate time for you to tell me your side, okay? Understood? I answer out loud because we're tape recording everything we say and nodding your
Yes,
head when
sir.
you said it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So that was Georgia Counseling, Your Honor. They report they've not seen Ms. Kimball since September 22nd. The mother was also, as part of her assessments, recommended to undergo NA meetings. The department has not received any proof that Ms. Kimball is currently undergoing any kind of NA meetings. Individual therapy is ongoing. That is with Georgia Counseling. The last drug screen, as I reported, was on November 10th. The mother was required to obtain and maintain stable and appropriate housing. The department doesn't actually know where the mother is currently living, Your Honor, that Ms. McKay had scheduled a face-to-face visit with Ms. Kimball at her reported residence with her mother in Monroe County. Excuse me, not Monroe County, but in Monroe, Georgia, yesterday, and that Ms. Kimball, in fact, did not meet with the mother at that residence, but came to the department's office instead. Ms. McKay reports that she went to the residence in Monroe, spoke with the various household members. To the best that we can figure out from what was reported to us by the department, by the household members, Ms. Kimball does not currently reside in the residence in Monroe, Georgia. The department does not know where the mother currently is residing. The mother was required to obtain and maintain stable employment. She has just, as of yesterday, provided one paycheck stub from I want to say it's an assisted living facility down in Jackson. That was for 2 weeks, the most recent 2-week pay period. Other than that, since we were last in court in October, the department has not received any evidence from Ms. Kimball of her having obtained and maintained stable employment. It is my understanding from the court report that the mother has been visiting with the children, and that those visits have been appropriate to this point. Let me see what else here. Just to refresh the court's recollection of issues we had covered previously, Ms. Kimball did undergo a psychological evaluation with Georgia Psychological back in July of 2023, in which Ms. Kimball reported a lifelong history of methamphetamine use and also use of non-prescribed benzodiazepines for anxiety. She also had been previously diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She was recommended as part of her substance abuse ASM level 1 outpatient treatment, random drug screens, NA meetings, and a psychological. She completed her psychiatric evaluation on December 12th of last year. They recommended Abilify for Ms. Kimball, and there were some other therapeutic recommendations that I won't go through right this second. Kimball had reported previously that she had found an NA application for an online provider. However, the department has not received anything further on that at this time, to my knowledge, as far as Ms. Kimball having been approved to attend NA meetings online, or that in fact she is doing NA meetings online. The level 1 outpatient counselor was Ms. Summers, and that was again with Georgia Counseling. And again, Ms. Summers reports the last time she saw her for substance abuse was September 22nd. The department is currently waiting on AmeriGroup in order to provide a psychiatric and play therapist for Baylor.
That y'all reported his behavior issues at the hearing 3 months ago. So what's taking so long?
That's an insurance issue, apparently, from what I understand, Your Honor, with AmeriGroup. As far as the level 1 outpatient, just to we had reported some of this in October. Ms. Kimball attended her first session September 16th at the Georgia Counseling Office in Stockbridge, did not attend her second appointment on September 19th, and when contacted was stated she was ill. She had 2 follow-up appointments scheduled for 9/22, 9/22, and 9/27 with Ms. Sumbers, and again reports that she has not been seen since September 22nd. Baylor is continuing to have his behavioral issues of verbal tantrums, defiance, and needing to be redirected, challenging authority, and being non-compliant. Since nothing further to report as far as medical or dental for either child since we were last in court. As I indicated, the last drug screen was November 10th. The department has information that a screen was scheduled for November 14th, and Ms. Kimball claimed to be ill. Another screen was scheduled for November 20th, and these are all for 2023, Your Honor. And she claimed to be out of town. Another screen was set for December 1st, and Ms. Kimball claimed to not be at the residence. And on December 4th, she was asked for her work schedule in order to schedule her for the week to complete a screen. Hey, Hasley, is that...
Did she give them the work schedule?
That I don't know, Your Honor. I don't know if Ms. McKay knows that information or not. Ms. McKay?
No, I wasn't updated on if she gave them.
You got to turn your mic up or something. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I didn't receive any information on if she gave them a work schedule.
You still got to do something with your mic. It's like you're whispering.
Is it covered up or something?
No, I have trouble with this mic. Can you guys hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
That's better.
Yes, I wasn't updated on if she gave them a work schedule.
Okay.
Hasley is currently placed with Mr. Vespa and Ms. Fields, it looks like. And Baylor looks like it's still placed with Jermaine and Nika Sparks. The visits are supervised twice weekly, and those take place at the department's office.
Is she making those? You said earlier she's visiting, but is she making all the visits?
Ms. McKay, do you know?
Yes, the visits are being made. One visit they didn't have a visit on Wednesday because the transporter fell ill. So that's the only visit at this moment that wasn't made.
Just to finish up then, Your Honor, with regards to the progress on the case plan, the information the department has received was that Ms. Kimball left her mother's home in Monroe in September. There was some information giving that she may have come back for about a 2-week period sometime in December or so. But the information that we have is that she is not residing in that residence. The employment was just the 1 paycheck stub. The department also reports that the phone number that they previously had for Ms. Kimball was constantly going to voicemail. She recently obtained a new phone number and provided it to the department.
Because I know it was
the job that she is working is with.
Excuse me. Somebody's talking in the background, and somebody needs to mute their mic. Can't tell where it's coming from.
That might have been Ms. Parks' microphone.
She was the only
one of them. Her current employer is Dreamcatcher, and again, she works for doing assisted living in Jackson, and reports she's only been there for 2 weeks and gave the first paycheck stub. Ms. Kimball did report that she no longer has to go to jail on the weekends, and that her next report from her probation officer is supposed to show proof of that. I talked about the parenting classes, those already having been completed. And so again, Your Honor, with regards to this case, the children having been in care since April of last year, we're coming up on about 9 months now, and the continued lack of regular random drug screens by Ms. Kimball, the lack of stable housing, lack of stable employment that's been going on since we were last in court, those would all be what the department would contend support a change in permanency plan at this time to concurrent plans of reunification and non-reunification termination of parental rights. And I know that the court had expressed concerns at the last hearing about, the fact that these children are bonding with their foster parents the longer that they remain in care. And those issues with particularly with the substance abuse treatment and the substance abuse screenings are critical a part of Ms. Kimball's case plan that she is just not meeting the requirements of at this time.
Ms. McKay, is all that information Mr. Scrivonic relayed, is all that true and correct?
Yes, the information is true and correct.
What would you like to add, if anything?
Nothing at the moment.
Did you give notice to the foster parents of this hearing?
I did tell them that the court was on the 9th.
Yeah, you're supposed to document in writing and file with the clerk when you gave notice and how you gave notice to any foster parent in any case, or relative placement too, but in this case, foster parents. You're new, so you may not have known that. We don't want them to come, but I don't want to, after the hearing, a foster parent to write me a nasty letter saying nobody told them about court, which has happened before. Not lately that I can recall, but that was the purpose of that filing, was to hopefully minimize that happened. Because then I've had to reconvene the review hearing so I could hear from the foster parent who would have been there the first time if they'd been notified. Mr. Scrivonic, did you have something?
I did. I just needed to ask Ms. McKay a couple of things. Ms. McKay, I know we had talked yesterday about the domestic violence assessment. Were you able to determine whether or not Ms. Kimball has actually undergone the domestic violence assessment?
No, I was not able to obtain that information. I have been trying to get in contact with Family Ties, and I haven't been able to contact them.
All right. And then just if you would, with regards to the information that you received from Ms. Kimball's mother and sister and other family members at the Monroe County residence yesterday, was it your understanding again that when you went out to that home that they reported that Ms. Kimball had not been living there since September, other than a possible 2-week period?
You said Monroe County, you're talking about the city of Monroe in Walton County, right?
Yes, yes. I keep saying Monroe County, but yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, that is correct.
And Your Honor, I would also just tender into evidence the Dreamcatcher paycheck stub that I provided to Ms. Crane, Ms. Miller, and to the court as far as the evidence that was the only evidence that's been provided as far as employment by Ms. Kimball since we were last in court in October.
Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
It's admitted.
I don't have anything else, Your Honor, unless Ms. Crane or Ms. Miller have any questions for Ms. McKay. And again, bearing in mind, she did just take the case over, so Ms. Parks may need to step in as well. I just don't know how much Ms. McKay knows about the case at this point.
Well, no time's better than today for her to be broken in as a new caseworker. Thorough and sifting cross-examination.
Your Honor, I do have a few questions. In looking at the court report that was provided for today, there are many references to Miss Kimball should be referred. Miss Kimball should be sent. Miss Kimball should be referred. For all of the things that she should be referred to, has she been referred?
To my understanding, she has been referred. And I've been following up with these service providers to get information.
Okay. And the psych eval that was referred in October and just completed in December says that she would benefit from the implementation of medication. It says it a couple of times. Has there been a referral to a doctor that's going to implement that?
To my understanding, that's not the psychological, that's the psychiatric.
Okay, so same question. It says she was recommended to take Abilify. That is a prescription. It was recommended that she have medication. Those are prescriptions. Is there a doctor that is prescribing these things? Has there been a referral to a doctor to prescribe these things?
We just got the information back on Friday, so we're in the process of doing it.
Okay. And as far as her level 1, says that she was referred for level 1 outpatient, but the report would indicate ongoing issues according to the department. Is the department intending to make a level 2 referral? And has that been discussed with Ms. Kimball?
Yes. She hasn't been going to the level 1 outpatient. She has been refusing to go. She claims that it's bringing up information about how her child, passed away in the past. So that's why she wasn't doing the level 1.
Right. But my question is, if the department doesn't feel that she is compliant with level 1, what is the plan? Is there a plan for level 2? Is there a plan for inpatient? What is the plan?
I can probably answer that better.
Okay.
Ms. McKay, you weren't here when Ms. Wilcox was on the case, but Ms. Crane, if you'll recall, way back when we were initially involved with these children, the department wanted the mom to go into inpatient. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to do that. She wanted to do the level 1. So the department was willing to give her the chance to do that. So okay. At this point, I would suspect that, Ms. Parks and Ms. McKay need to staff that, but they may be looking at requesting her to go into inpatient.
Okay. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Ms. Miller, did you have anything?
I didn't, Judge.
Ms. Kimball, let's start off by you giving us your current residence address, not a P.O. box, but where do you sleep at night and call home?
I don't call it home, but I stay at 1, 2.
You have been there how long?
Not long at all. Like
a week, a day, a month, 2 months, what?
Almost going on 2 weeks.
Okay, and who lives there with you?
Just a friend. And
but what's the name of the friend? What's the name of the friend?
I mean, why do you
what's the name of the friend? I don't want to ask you again. Tell me the name of the friend. Ma'am?
Dylan.
Lionel? You don't know his name?
No, I never said that. I said Dylan.
Well, it looks like somebody off screen is telling you what to say. Is there somebody else in the room with you?
No, sir. It's just me.
Okay. So his name is Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's his last name?
What?
What is his last name?
Kirkwood.
Kirkwood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Kirkwood.
I think sure it doesn't have but 2 O's, not 3.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay. Are you homeless and are just sleeping on couches with friends? Or
no, I'm not homeless. No, I'm not homeless. It's just, me and my mom, we don't see eye to eye on some things. And, I do stay at my mom's. I have mail at my mom's, but no, I don't stay at my mom's 24/7. I mean, I'm grown and I don't have to stay at my mom's 24/7, I feel like.
Okay.
And I've told Miss Wilcox about Celebrate Recovery on Jericho Road. I've been going to that. I actually have a meeting with my new therapist, Miss Lang, after my court.
Where does Celebrate Recovery meet on Jericho Road? On the east or west side of
I don't. It's right there, like you pass going over the bridge, and then you keep on going, like right after the Dollar General.
Okay, so you're
going towards Hudson Bridge.
Okay. So what is it, a church? Is it at another building?
Yeah, it's a church.
What's the name of the church that it's at?
I don't really know the name of it. I think it's First United. I don't know if it's First United.
Is it the one that has a big power line running through the middle of their property?
It's right there in front of the hamburger place, like right close to it.
Frank's? What's the name of that guy's? Okay, I know where the burger place is. Yeah, I think we're talking about the same church. So when does Celebrate Recovery meet at that church?
Tuesdays at 6.
Okay.
And then you eat, and then.
Okay. So how many times have you attended Celebrate Recovery at that facility?
I've been there about maybe 4 or 5 times.
Most people that are court ordered to go to some type of community support group like AA or NA or Celebrate Recovery have a sheet where they get somebody there to sign to attest that they were there that night. Have you done that?
I didn't know that because I just thought it was Narcotics Anonymous. You know, how you have to read the 12 steps at the beginning of each meeting.
Yeah. So you've done NA before?
Yeah, I've been to NA before.
But you prefer Celebrate Recovery?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've been how many? 4 times?
About 4 or 5, yes, give or take.
And that's been since we talked about it in October. So in 3 months, you've been 4 times. So you've been, if you went once a week, you would have gone 12 times roughly.
Yes, sir. But I don't have a vehicle right now. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to keep up.
So what is your current phone number where your case manager can reach you?
My case manager has my phone number. It's 4.
Is that what you have, Ms. McKay?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. And Ms. McKay, you've had trouble not able to leave messages or leaving messages that were not returned?
When I first received the case, I was calling the number that was on the case, and that number wasn't correct. Then I emailed her, and then she gave me her new number.
Okay. So have you had trouble reaching her at this new number?
No, she answered this new number.
Okay. Have you ever gotten voicemail?
No.
Okay. Good. Just if you have voicemail on your machine, Ms. Kimball, be sure to clean it up once in a while. So if your case manager needs to get in touch with you and she gets no space available to leave a message. And if you get a message from her, you need to call her back within 24 hours, okay?
Yes, sir. My old phone, I had an iPhone 7 and my battery's messed up. And so Apple support, I had to go take it up there for them to let me have, I guess, data and everything again so I could be able to text and call and all that. And so they could fix my battery, and then my phone completely went out. So I didn't have a phone for a couple of days.
Okay.
I mean, I have an Android now, so.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Where?
At Dreamcatcher in Jackson. My schedule is from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
And what do you do there?
11 p.m., you know, I go, all the residents are asleep, so I just go around every 2 hours and check, make sure they're still breathing. And in the mornings, I set the table, and then I go change diapers.
These are old people?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I go and change diapers and get whatever they need, and I get them dressed and get them, you know, started for the day.
This is considered a nursing home, not assisted living?
It's not a nursing home. It's an assisted living. The only reason why they have very few people that we have to take care of is because they were there before they went downhill.
Okay. And they didn't make a move to a more intensive facility?
No, they just, where my work is, you know, they feel like that they've been there for a long time. So, I mean, if they want to continue to stay there, then if we have the right equipment to take care of them, we will.
Are you a CNA? Do you have any education or on training certification for any specialty dealing with elder care?
I mean, I took care of my mom, but no, I'm actually going to do all that.
Okay. So you've been there how long? This pay stub is from December.
That's whenever I started working, yes.
Okay. So you haven't had another pay period since then? Because she wanted.
Yes, I have.
Have you not? Why haven't you given them any more pay stubs?
I mean, I've been doing like Lyft and Uber, DoorDash and stuff, and so I don't really have pay stubs for that.
Okay, but you have pay stubs for the Dreamcatcher, don't you?
Yeah, because I just started working there back in December.
Okay. Well,
That paycheck stub is my first paycheck stub, and we
okay. So
get paid
your next pay stub will be
the
next
22nd.
or the end of this week. You get paid every 2 weeks?
The 7th and the 22nd of the month. I mean, I can give my employer's phone number and everything if you need it.
No, ma'am, I don't need it. Your case manager may need it. This says the period started 12/16 to 12/31. So you get that check on the 7th? Is that what you said?
Yes, we get paid the 7th and the 22nd of the month,
Okay, so
twice a
from the
month.
1st of January to the 15th of January, you're going to get paid on the 22nd?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And there is a way that you can show your case manager in there what you say you're doing Uber or Lyft and you don't have a pay stub, but you have online either on the app or somewhere where you can document or show her document of how much money you're making, don't you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can screenshot it and send it to her.
Then that's what you need to do, okay?
And I also had a concern because Bauer, he's been removed out of his foster home, the second foster home, because it was notified that there was a child molester or a sex offender that was living there at the home, and nobody knew about it. So he had to be moved. And now he's going on with these outbursts and how he's doing. And everybody wants to say it's behavioral, but I think he's crying out for, like he's trying to tell us something and he don't know how to say it. That's how I feel.
Does he have a speech
Because he's
impediment?
never had these before.
Does he have a speech impediment?
That's not what I'm saying.
He's
I'm
six
saying
and a half
that,
years old. How can you not say something? And maybe he doesn't want to say something or doesn't know.
maybe he's been, as a child molester, sex offender, maybe something's happened.
Well,
I mean,
how long has he been out of
but
that home?
that I don't really know, because this is his third home, and I heard that he's about to probably get kicked out of this home into another foster home.
Ms. Spark,
That's just what Miss
Ms.
Wilcox
McKay,
said.
well, who did you hear it from?
Miss Wilcox.
Okay. Ms. McKay, do you know anything about his placement being in jeopardy?
No, not at this moment. I'm not aware of that information. The only concerns the foster parent had was the services that we're trying to provide him for the play therapies. And
it's been over 3 months and you still haven't got it. Whatever you were supposed to get through AmeriCare.
Yeah, that's the only concern that she has at the moment. She didn't say anything about kicking Valor out of the placement.
Well, then Miss Wilcox, she never even, for one, she never even notified me when the DFAC's office was closed. The transporter had to notify me that it was closed at times. We never had meetings. We never really followed up on anything,
Well, she's not your case manager anymore, is she?
No, I'm just saying, when she was.
We don't need to dwell on the past of that. If she fell down on the job, I'm sorry. I don't remember you ever reporting any of that the last 2 times we've had court. But anyway, we can't do anything about it now because she's not even the caseworker. But you let me know if that happens with this new caseworker, okay?
Yes, sir.
You attorneys have any questions for Ms. Kimball?
No, sir.
No, Your Honor.
I may have told you this last time, Ms. Kimball, I just don't remember. But when your children get removed and they're placed in foster care because of drug abuse, we, by law, cannot return your children to you till we have a record of clean drug screens and sobriety for 12 months. We don't have that. We don't have anywhere close to that because you're not screening. And turning down a screen is like being...
I never turned down a screen.
Calling in sick is turning it down.
I have hepatitis C. So I have Your Honor, a problem. I have hepatitis C. So I have yes, I do.
Okay, well,
so I get sick
does your
easily.
employer know you have hep C?
Yes.
And they can work in a nursing home with hep C.
It's not a nursing home, but I wear gloves.
The point is, if you can go to work with hep C, you can go have somebody take a peek.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, being sick. Well, and then Thanksgiving, she wanted to come meet the day after. Everybody's, at their families on Thanksgiving. She wanted to come meet the day after when I was, out of town.
Okay. Well, you can come up with all the excuses you want to come up
My
with. Okay.
excuse.
The bottom line is when I look at somebody's pattern of not being at screens because they come up with excuses, I have grave concerns, and I have no
Right.
way of finding that we have 12 months of sobriety or anywhere close. Just giving you a heads up. So don't miss any more drug screens. Okay.
Yes, sir. I need her number, by the way. If my new caseworker can give me her number, like I
Whose
asked
number?
yesterday.
Whose number? The drug
The drug.
screener?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Well, you don't make appointments to screen.
I know. I'm
We
saying
try to get you
because
randomly, and you know why we do it random. So
yes, sir.
I'm
I'm just
fine with you
saying.
having her number. I don't know that she, um, I'll let you, when we get
I
through
mean,
the hearing, you can talk with Ms. McKay about that. Okay. We're not making much progress, Ms. Kimball. I'm just going to be honest with you.
okay, but y'all expecting me to do all these things and have no help doing anything. All these requirements, this, nobody wants to help pay for gas to go to the meetings and this and that. I'm just saying, I mean, it's a lot on me right now.
Okay. It's a
I'm
lot on
still
being a
grieving over
parent,
my son.
Ms.
I'm still
Kimball.
grieving over my son and over, his father,
Mhm.
so I mean, I'm still not grieving like completely like how I should. And it's just a lot on me right now. And nobody seems to get that, but everybody wants me to do this, and this, but yet not try to help me.
Everybody wants you to have your children back, and those are
I
and
do want
this are
my
the things you
children
need to
back.
do. Okay. Well, you say you want to do the things and you don't have means to do it. She reported that you refused to do level 1 drug treatment because it brought up bad memories about your losses.
No, I didn't refuse. I just didn't go.
Well, what difference does that make? Is there a difference?
No,
Not
sir.
going is refusing in my book.
Well, I'm starting to go now, so I have one right after this, and I'm
Now,
definitely going to be
you're
talking about
you're
my
within
cat.
about 2 hair widths of me ordering you into residential drug rehab. Okay, you've got a history of some serious drug issues, and we need to make sure they're nipped as best we can before these children are returned to you. And we want them to return to you sooner than later. The drug screens, they're coming to you, so you don't have to worry. You can't throw the deal about not having reliable transportation on that. They're trying to come to you, and you're not there. You're sick, or this or that.
I mean, but I have been passing them. CBD is legal, so I don't see nothing wrong with CBD. You can buy it at the store. I mean, is there a problem with it if
Depends
it's
on what
legal?
kind of all the stuff. The derivatives of marijuana are not legal, and I
No,
don't know.
it's the stuff that you buy at the store in the vape.
You've done real well with your visits, and that's to be commended. I have some parents who won't even visit their kids, so that's good. But we've got to get a handle on making sure that you're sober and staying sober. And when did you go? You said you were getting back in level 1. When did you get back in? Because I'm sure
Um,
that service authorization is expired. They're going to have to
I,
start all over.
No, actually, I called her yesterday, and I have I have a therapy session today. As soon as I get done with my court
For the
at 3
level
p.m.
1,
Yes,
what's the name of the provider that you're going to work with?
It's Georgia Counseling. They do the level 1 and the therapy all in one.
What's the name of the
Like
person you're going to work with?
Dr. Lang instead of Miss
Lang?
Summers, it's Miss Lang.
Is it Lane or Lang? Lang.
I guess Lang is how I pronounce it.
Okay. Do you have her listed as an authorized provider, Ms. McKay?
The only person that I have listed is Miss Summers. Miss Kimball did tell me yesterday that Miss Dr. Lang and Miss Summers work together. I am not aware of that at this moment because I didn't get any contact from Miss Summers stating that she was going to have any therapy session with Miss Kimball, and I did not complete an essay.
What do you and your kids do during your visits?
I mean, I bring them stuff, and we just play, and I love on them. They love on me.
Okay. Do you bring
And just
games like a Monopoly? I don't know if you're 6 years old. I don't know if you play Monopoly yet, but games like
I bring them
Chutes and Ladders or
play,
ma'am?
Play-Doh or air clay.
Okay.
Bring them coloring books and like the erasable markers, stuff like that.
Good. Good.
And I bring them a snack every day, every visit.
What do they like?
Cheetos and Oreos and Sprite or strawberry Fanta, something not like so
Who gets
caffeine.
stuck getting all the orange goo from the Cheetos off their fingers?
Very hazily.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would eat Cheetos every day of the week if it wasn't for that orange mess.
Yeah, she gets it everywhere, all over her face. She'll have pink on her face too from her drink.
All right, Ms. McKay, she says that she's getting back in level 1, which is good. But we got to get these drug screens going. And there was something else that you said. Oh, you have a psych eval that says they recommend that she have medication.
Yes.
Ms. Crane, you named the medication. It's gone out of my head. What was it?
Abilify. It's Abilify.
Well, you don't have a prescription for that, correct?
Not at the moment.
Have you had it before?
I am unaware of that right now.
You what?
Unaware of that. If there was a prescription before.
No, I'm asking the mother if she's had Abilify. She's used Abilify before. I'm sorry.
No, sir. On the recommendation, it says right there where it says the prescriptions that they can recommend the medicine.
Yeah,
but
you have to see a medical doctor or preferably a psychiatrist for medication, the prescriptions in for managing that. And the doctor's going to be very careful with you because of your history with benzos. And because they don't want to give you something that becomes habit forming. And a lot of the benzos, the reason they don't want to, well, I hope they wouldn't prescribe them to you because of your drug history, is because they are very habit forming.
Yes, sir.
You've been around the block long enough to know those are out there on the black market for people to buy because it makes you feel good. But they get hooked on them and then they're scrambling around trying to find them.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm encouraged by your visits. I'm not encouraged by I'm discouraged that you haven't drug screened. You're saying all you're using is, but listen, think about this. And I'm not expecting an answer from you, but you have this history with drug abuse. You've got all this trauma in your life that you're really struggling with, and you're keeping your head above water, but it's a struggle. And you're throwing up to me that CBD is legal, and I can't keep up with all that stuff. I know there's something they're selling that maybe have the effect of a lesser effect of marijuana or the cannabis, whatever. But if you're needing something like that, doesn't that show you that you need help? I mean, you need with your emotions, you need professional help, not just medication, but therapy. And, it worries me that if you're using stuff that you can get in the corner convenience store or wherever they sell this stuff, if it gets worse, you're going to move to something else that's more potent, that's illegal, has more side effects, that has addictive properties. And you got a lot on you, like you said, and you're ripe for having a crash over drug use. So I'm worried about you. And I know you're worried about yourself based on what you just told me. But think it through about why you're using that stuff. And if you're just using it to mask symptoms that you need more professional help with, like therapy and prescription medication. I thought Abilify was for depression and some bipolar symptoms.
It's for nightmares. It can be for people with Tourette's, autism, some bipolar.
Mm-hmm. Did they give you a diagnosis of any mental illness, like depression or I mean,
bipolar or
you
depression.
could definitely have depression. But all right.
She's got a diagnosis in the court report, Your Honor, of major depressive disorder, recurrent moderate.
Okay. Well, have we reviewed everything we need to review, Mr. Skowronek?
I believe so, Your Honor, unless the court wants to make its findings about the children still being dependent and all of that, and then
they're obviously still dependent. They can't return home. The department's making reasonable efforts. Mom is trying. She's still not done it all. I'm not going to change her case plan, but at 12 months, which is the next time I see you in April, if we don't have a whole slew of drug screens, and I hope they're negative, it better be.
Yes, sir.
Then I'm going to change it probably. But listen, keep your chin up. Don't get discouraged, and don't be afraid or embarrassed or intimidated to ask for help. Ask your case manager, ask the people at Celebrate Recovery, and I do need you to, do you have a form, Ms. McKay, to give your clients so they can get somebody to sign off and give you documentation of community assistance?
I don't.
Well, ask around your office. You ought to have one somewhere.
Okay, I just get it written down on a piece of paper and then just sign it.
I want Ms. McKay. You can do that, Ms. McKay. They should have a form at DFAX for people to do that. And I'll tell you, some people don't want to do that because, especially with NAAA, it's confidential that you attend and all that. So sometimes people are hesitant to give you documentation that you were at something that's confidential because they don't want to reveal that they were there sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Celebrate Recovery has that confidentiality thing or not, but okay.
Yes, sir.
You keep doing what you're doing and then some. Make sure you don't miss these screens. And listen, we all get sick from time to time, but there are things we need to do, even if we don't feel good. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sorry you don't have transportation. Are you going to be at this? I wasn't sure from what you said whether you're going to be here next month. Are you going to be at Snapping Shoals Road for the foreseeable future?
Yes.
You
probably.
You pay rent?
About going home to my mom for really this time, honestly.
You are going home or you're not?
See about going back home to my mom's because it's just better.
Don't Ms. McKay doesn't have time to chase you down and look for you everywhere. And let her know if you have to move, okay? Or if you have to move or want to move. All right. Sir. Well, thanks for talking to me. And y'all, any other findings you need me to make? It'd be contrary to the welfare to return home at this time. And we're working on the case plan. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Skowronek?
Not that I could think of, Your Honor. No.
Anybody else? Ms. Miller, did you have anything?
No, sir.
Any recommendations?
No, I was going to ask that the court change it to concurrent, but the court has already addressed that and said that you will think about doing that in April of 24 when we meet back.
I read what your mind should have been thinking. No, I'm joking. Well, I waffled back and forth during the hearing about that. It's a close call, and I'm going to give Mom the benefit for now. So don't disappoint me when we come back, okay?
I'm not. I'm going to prove everybody wrong.
I don't want the goalpost to keep moving down the highway. I want you to get closer and closer. Okay?
They will be coming home with me, so that.
All right. Thank you. Y'all take care. We'll conclude the hearing.